This presentation is about the proposed changes to the Revenue and Rating Plan. So what is the Revenue and Rating Plan? It's a plan that details how Council raises revenue to finance the Council plan and who is going to pay for it. So what are the proposed changes? Council is proposing two things to make the rating system fairer. Firstly, it's going to change the way the rate discount for farmers are determined, and secondly, it's going to reduce the fixed charge component of rates. So what is this not about? It's not about the total amount of rates or how much revenue we're going to raise, because that is fixed by the rate cap for next year at 1.75%. So what is it about? It's about who pays the rates. It's the proportion of the total rate revenue paid by the different property types, farms and non-farm. So now let's have a look at your rates notice. The composition of the total rates notice is made up of rates, a fixed charge called the municipal charge. We also have waste charges, and there's a fire service levy. The first three of these charges are determined by the Northern Grampian Shire. The fire service levy is a levy that's imposed by the state government of Victoria. We collect it on their behalf and forward the money to them. This discussion is about rates and the municipal charge. So how are rates calculated? They're made up of the market value of your property multiplied by a rate in the dollar, and that will equal the total amount of your rates. The market value of your property is determined by the valuer general. The rate in the dollar is determined by Northern Grampian Shire. So who pays the rates at Northern Grampian Shire? It's split between residential properties, commercial properties, industrial properties and farms. The first three, residential, commercial and industrial, pay a general rate. It's the same rate and it's applied to each one of those properties equally. At Northern Grampian Shire, we have a differential rate, a rate that is unique to a particular group of ratepayers. It's called the farm rate, and that rate is 53% discount of the general rate. So why do we have a differential? The purpose of the farm rate differential is because Council recognises that farms require a large amount of land to generate their income, and that's precisely what we rate. We also recognise that profitability can be dramatically impacted by the vagaries of weather and international markets. Also, farms are unable to pass on their increases in costs like other businesses. So let's have a look at that first point about average valuations, and we'll have a look at it in the 21-22 year, which is the current year. If we have a look at residential properties, the average valuation is $210,000. For commercial properties, the average valuation is $345,000, industrial properties $251,000, and farm properties are $900,000. So as you can see there, the average farm property is significantly higher than the average property values for each one of the other categories. This graph illustrates how over time the rate split between farm and non-farm has changed. Now from 2006-7 to 2021, the difference between farm and non-farm was reasonably stable up until 2020. In the last couple of years, you'll notice that the percentage of the total rates paid by farmers has been increasing. This has primarily been because the valuation increases for farm properties was way higher than the valuation increases for residential properties. And we can see the impact here in the next graph, which is on the same time frame but is measuring rates. And as you can see, the impact on the increases in the farming sector has been much higher, whereas in the non-farming sector it has remained reasonably stable over those last few years. So what is Council proposing? It's proposing that instead of having a fixed differential rate, it'll have a floating differential rate, and it'll do this by fixing the split between non-farm and farm properties. And this will be calculated on the historic average from 2006 to 2020. This means that farms will pay a fixed percentage of 32.5% and non-farm sector will pay 67.5. This will have the impact of reducing the rate shock caused by large valuation movements from one year to the next. The other proposed change is to the municipal charge. The municipal charge applies to all types of property equally and is a flat rate of $164. Council is proposing to reduce the municipal charge, and this will have most benefit to lower valued properties. The main thing to remember about all of this is that when you're talking about who pays the rates, any changes to the proportion of rates is going to benefit one group at the cost of another. But in the end, it's all about fairness. If you'd like to provide feedback, please use the QR code below. It will take you to our Revenue and Rating Plan website, where you'll be able to have the opportunity to fill in a survey, and you'll be able to read other information that is there about this subject matter. Thank you.